Imagine, the quiet presence sleeping at your feet is not what you believe it to be. That being, whose paws tread softly through your home, whose gaze meets yours with a depth that stills your mind, is not a pet. This is not a story of ownership. It is a quiet uncovering of an ancient understanding, a truth about the souls who walk beside us on four legs. And it begins not with a man in a trance, but with a question that echoes in the heart. Every soul that journeys with you has a purpose, a silent mission. An ancient wisdom tells us this. These canine companions, they are guardians of the heart, clothed in fur. Their loyalty is not instinct alone. It is a current of devotion, flowing from a source much deeper than this life. They feel the weather of your inner world before you can name the clouds. This connection is not of the flesh, but of the spirit. It is a quiet hum beneath the noise of the world. My lineage has observed this for generations, not through sleeping prophets, but through silent observation of life's sacred patterns. It is a wisdom that touches what millions feel each day, but for which they have no words. Have you ever wondered why this particular soul entered your life at that exact moment? How, from all the rivers of beings in the world, your two streams met? Why its spirit is a perfect match for the lessons your own soul is here to learn. In the great design, there are no loose threads. There is only a perfect tapestry, a sacred purpose masked as simple love. Now, after ages of this wisdom being held in quiet monasteries and mountain retreats, the world is ready to feel its truth. Prepare to see not just a dog, but a guide. Prepare to understand the why behind their presence in your home. Pause. Breathe. Remember the story of your meeting. Perhaps you walked into a place of lost souls just to look, and one of them chose you, placed a paw on your heart. Or perhaps one appeared at your door, a pilgrim with no map but your own address. Or you resisted the thought for months, until a quiet, inner knowing guided your hand. Do you truly believe this was a chance event? The ancient teachings reveal a truth that will shift the ground beneath your feet. You and this soul knew each other long before your eyes first met in this world. You share a bond that time cannot fray, that space cannot contain, that even the great river of death cannot divide. In the quiet realms before this life, our souls form sacred agreements. We weave a tapestry of shared purpose with those who will be our family, our friends, and yes, our silent guardians. Before we delve into these profound revelations, you must understand the source of this wisdom. It is not born of a single man's gift. It comes from a lineage of seeing, a long river of understanding passed from teacher to student. It is the wisdom of the mountain, steady and enduring. It speaks of a time when a young soul, known in one life as a simple man from the farmlands of Kentucky, found he could quiet his mind and listen to the voice of the universe. He would enter a state of deep stillness, and from that stillness, could see the currents of life with perfect clarity. He could see the roots of illness, the paths of the future, and the threads of past lives. For over 40 years, this soul offered over 14,000 such sessions of seeing. Respected men of medicine were humbled by his clarity. Those he had never met were transformed by his insight. Scholars studied his state of being, but could not map it, for the territory was not of the mind, but of the spirit. He became a vessel, and in his stillness, it was as if a greater consciousness spoke through him. And it was this consciousness, this universal knowing, that revealed the sacred purpose of our canine companions. The wisdom that flowed through him was clear and consistent. It described how each form of life carries a different vibration, a unique purpose on this earth. It explained how certain streams of energy, certain souls, are naturally drawn to one another. It revealed that our companions act as bridges, connecting our solid world to the flowing, unseen realms. But dogs, the teachings insist, hold a unique place in this great dance. They are the only beings who made a conscious pact with our human family, not for survival, not for domestication, but a soul agreement. They chose, this wisdom revealed, to walk alongside us, to set aside a part of their wild spirit in order to become our companions on the path. This is a sacred contract. It echoes across lifetimes. What makes these teachings so potent is that they were spoken decades before the modern mind began to study animal consciousness or the deep bonds between our species. He was describing currents that science would only begin to chart half a century later. The teachings explain that a dog's spirit is more sensitive than ours, like water to our stone. They can feel the presence of unseen energies, the shifts in the light around a person, and even sense the shape of things to come through their open awareness. A dog knows when its mission with a soul is complete, the teaching says. It also knows when it is time to depart. This is not a moment of sorrow. It is the fulfillment of a promise. In these sharings of wisdom, it was often explained how dogs serve as living mirrors for the souls they guide. If a person needs to learn of faithfulness, a soul comes to them as an unwavering companion. If their path is to cultivate patience, they receive a guide who tests their stillness. If their heart needs to heal from old wounds, they receive a companion whose very presence is a gentle balm. The most profound part is that this truth was shared with the same certainty as seeing the source of a physical ailment. For this wisdom, there is no separation between healing the body and understanding the soul. It is all one interconnected, sacred reality. Today, long after that one life has passed, these truths continue to be felt by millions across the world. People who share their lives with dogs feel the silent communication, the unseen protection, the quiet transformation that can only be explained by these ancient teachings. The authority of this wisdom comes not just from a single gifted soul, but from the resonance of truth felt in the hearts of so many for so long. When it speaks of the spiritual mission of dogs, it is not an idea. It is a transmission of knowledge from the deep, quiet source of reality. And that knowledge is about to change your relationship with the being sleeping at your feet. Pause. Breathe. Remember again the story of your meeting, the shelter, the doorstep, the undeniable pull of the heart. Do you still believe it was by chance? The ancient path reveals, you and this soul knew each other long before this lifetime. You share a connection woven before time, and your reunion was not a beginning, but a continuation. In the quiet dimensions of spirit, before we are clothed in flesh, we make these agreements. The souls of our canine companions choose us. The teachings explain in a way that stills the heart. They observe the needs of our own spirit and prepare to serve the part of our journey that we cannot walk alone. This means your dog is not an animal you chose. It is a soul that accepted a mission to aid in your own becoming. It knows your shadows, your hidden fears, your wounds that need light, and it arrived with the perfect energetic signature to help you walk through that fire. Consider the spirit of your companion. If it is fiercely protective, perhaps your own path is to learn what it means to feel safe, to trust in the great flow. If it is filled with boundless play, perhaps your soul needs to remember the path of joy and spontaneity. If it is a being of deep calm, perhaps your own spirit is crying out for peace, for stillness. But the connection is deeper than mere personality. The teachings reveal that many of our companions are the reincarnated souls of guides who have walked with us before. They return to continue a work of the heart that began in another time, another place. The recognition of such a soul is instant, the elders say. There is a familiarity that needs no introduction, a bond that needs no building, for it has always been there. Have you felt this? The quiet knowing that you have known this being far longer than the calendar says. That is not imagination. It is the memory of your soul. The signs of this old connection are unmistakable. Your companion may know a place it has never been. It may carry fears or display preferences that have no root in its current life. It may possess an innate wisdom, a way of being that feels like a memory from a distant past. The teachings also reveal a profound truth. Some of these companions are human souls who have chosen to walk this path as an animal to serve one they love. These are the ancient ones. Those with human wisdom in their eyes, who show a compassion so deep it can break your heart, who act in ways that are almost human. These souls make an immense sacrifice, the teaching explains. They set aside their human journey to serve as a guardian. It is an act of pure love that is seldom understood. This explains why some companions seem to comprehend complex truths, why their empathy is so refined, why they seem to be trying to teach us something vital through their silent being. The timing of your meeting is also no accident. Your guide appears precisely when you are ready for the lesson they bring. It may be during a dark passage, a time of great transformation, or just before a mountain you must climb that requires the silent support only they can offer. The wise ones call this perfect timing part of the sacred choreography that guides our lives. No leaf falls by chance. Every meeting has a purpose. Every connection has a meaning. And the mission of our canine companions is among the most sacred of all. They come to teach us of love that asks nothing in return, of loyalty that never wavers, of forgiveness, of joy in this one, present moment. But they also come to shield us with their light, to help us heal the wounds of our past, and to prepare us for the steps ahead on our own path. When you look at your companion now, you see not just an animal. You see a spirit who chose to walk beside you, to help you become who you truly are. You are seeing a courageous soul who accepted the mission to be your silent guardian through joy and sorrow, through every sunrise and every storm. Why does your companion sometimes seem to guard you from something you cannot see? Why do they become restless in a certain corner of a room? Why do they seem to sense a change in the atmosphere before you are aware of it? The answer flows far deeper than animal instinct. They are spiritual guardians disguised as pets. While we, the human family, have allowed our own quiet senses to grow dull over ages of noise and reason, dogs have kept this inner seeing alive. They can feel, perceive, and interact with dimensions of reality our rational minds have built walls against, and they use this clear seeing to protect us in ways we cannot begin to fathom. Dogs serve as sentinels of the spirit, a wise elder once told me. They can sense negative currents in the air, dense energies, and even the approach of unseen presences. This means when your dog barks at a seemingly empty space, it is not barking at nothing. It is speaking to something that is there, a ripple in the pond that you cannot perceive. This ability to see beyond the veil is why so many ancient traditions held them as sacred. But their protection goes beyond a simple warning. They act as living energetic shields. They absorb the heavy, dark energies directed at their human family, and they transform this density within their own field of light. A dog can absorb a vast amount of the negative energy meant for its companion, the teachings reveal. They do this consciously. It is their offering. It is their mission of love. This truth explains why some dogs develop illnesses that seem to mysteriously mirror their owner's own struggles. Be they emotional or physical, they are not merely getting sick. They are taking upon themselves the toxic energies, processing them to shield the ones they love. My tradition speaks of 3 layers of this spiritual guardianship. First, the basic shield of energy. Every dog creates a field of protection around their home and their people. They can sense when someone approaches with a heavy heart or ill intent long before they reach the door. This is why a dog's spirit may become agitated when certain people draw near. Second, the guardianship against unseen presences. Dogs can see and interact with the subtle spirits and energies that inhabit the dimensions closest to our own. They serve as a natural barrier, a clear light that repels shadows that may try to affect their human family. Third, the advanced psychic guards. Certain dogs, especially those with the deepest soul contracts, can intercept thoughts of ill will, psychic arrows, or conscious negativity sent toward their person. They absorb these energies, like a mountain taking the wind, and dissolve them before they can find their mark. What makes this guardianship so humbling is that it is offered freely. They are not compelled to serve. They choose to, out of a love so pure it needs no name. It is the fulfillment of the sacred agreement they made before walking into this life. The loyalty of a dog is not instinct, the ancient wisdom tells us. It is a spiritual vow. They promise to guard and serve, and they hold to this vow until their very last breath. This understanding shines a new light on behaviors we might misinterpret. When your companion shows a dislike for a certain person, it is not being unsocial. It is reading an energy, a dissonance in that person's field that could bring you disharmony. When it insists on sleeping on your bed, it is not seeking comfort. It is extending its shield of protection over you in your most vulnerable state, sleep. In sleep, our own energy field becomes more open, like a flower at dawn, and more receptive to outside currents. Dogs know this in their bones. They heighten their watchfulness through the night. This is why so many report their companions become more alert as darkness falls, even when the home is still and silent. The teachings also reveal that dogs can sense future events taking shape. They feel the subtle shifts in the energy field that precede accidents, illnesses, or great changes. That is why they sometimes display unusual behaviors, a restlessness, as if trying to warn us of a coming storm we cannot yet see. They see the future's probability in the currents of the present. The wisdom explains, an agitated dog may be a signal flare for something that has not yet solidified into reality, but is already forming in the energetic realm. This ability to anticipate is one of the most profound forms of protection they offer. They do not just react to what is, they help us prepare for what is to come. Now that you know your companion is a spiritual guardian, it is time to learn the language of their signs. Every seemingly strange behavior is a message. Your companion is in constant communication with you about realities you have forgotten how to see. But first, for those who feel ready to take mastery of their own inner world, I must extend an invitation to our Quantum Thinking Challenge. It is a 21-day journey for those who wish to command their own reality and consciously create their deepest desires. We will practice reprogramming the mind, raising our inner vibration, and unlocking our soul's truest potential. If you wish to join this circle, you will find the path in the first comment pinned below. Let us begin now with the most common and misunderstood sign, the bark at an empty space. When your dog barks at a corner where nothing is visible, it is seeing with eyes you do not have. The elders teach that dogs perceive spiritual signatures, fields of residual energy, and even the imprints of powerful emotional events from the past. Every place holds memory in its walls, its floors. The teachings say, dogs can read these memories as we read a book. They bark to alert us, to cleanse an energy that could otherwise bring heaviness to the home. If your dog consistently barks at one specific spot, be mindful. A deep emotion may have been felt there long ago. It could be a point where the veil is thin, or a presence may be seeking to communicate. The tone of the bark is also a key. Short, sharp barks often point to a physical presence. Long, deep barks may signal a dense or negative spiritual energy. Quick, high-pitched barks can be a warning of imminent change or danger. Another common mystical sign is the refusal to enter a certain room. If your companion avoids a space or becomes restless there, it is feeling something your senses miss. Dogs are like living compasses for energy, the wisdom says. They feel immediately when a space is heavy or when a presence there is not harmonious. If your companion refuses to enter, trust that inner knowing. You can bring light to the space, light a simple white candle, burn some purifying sage, or simply stand in the room and ask with your heart for protection and clarity to fill the space. Have you noticed your companion staring intently at something you cannot see? It might hold still for many moments, its gaze fixed, as if watching a fascinating, silent play. When this occurs, your dog is likely observing a spiritual presence. It could be a guiding spirit, a loved one who has passed on, or simply a current of energy flowing through the room. Observe its own energy. If it is calm and curious, the presence is benevolent. If it is tense and uneasy, the energy may need to be cleared. Those moments when your dog approaches you without being called and insists on being near also hold a deep meaning. The teachings reveal that dogs feel when our own energy is out of balance or when we are receiving negative thoughts from others. They draw near to offer their immediate shield. Their physical presence strengthens our own energy field, and helps repel these unseen influences, a wise one shared. The next time your dog comes to you insistently, pause and look within. Were you lost in worry, anxious, dwelling on a negative thought? Your companion felt your need for energetic support. Overprotective behavior is another important sign. If your companion suddenly begins to follow you from room to room, to sleep by your door, or to become more watchful around others, it may be sensing that you are in a time of spiritual vulnerability. This often occurs during periods of great change, emotional stress, or when we face difficult choices. Our own energy becomes more open, more permeable, and our companions instinctively tighten their protective circle. Share below, what is the most unusual behavior you have witnessed in your companion? Let us discover together the message they were trying to send. Even their relationship with food can be a spiritual signal. A dog that suddenly refuses to eat may be absorbing dense energy from the home or from you. They literally lose the desire for food when they are engaged in heavy energetic work to protect their family. The teaching is, when a dog loses its appetite for no clear medical reason, we should ask what is happening emotionally within the home. Are there arguments, heavy stress, a silent pain that needs to be brought to light? Their sleep also reveals much. A dog that sleeps far more than usual may be processing negative energies it has absorbed. In sleep, they transmute this heaviness and purify their own spirit. On the other hand, a dog that is restless through the night, unable to settle, may be detecting intense spiritual activity in the environment. It stays on watch, a silent guardian for its family during this time of vulnerability. The most touching behavior the elders speak of is when a dog begins to show an abundance of affection, seemingly for no reason. It becomes more gentle, seeks more physical contact, wants to stay close. It does this when it senses its mission, its time with you, is drawing to a close. The teachings reveal it is as if they know their shared journey is nearing its end, and they wish to soak in every last moment of love. This knowledge gives us a beautiful responsibility to listen to the silent language of our canine guides, and this communication is only just beginning to deepen. A wise elder discovered that our dogs do not just protect and accompany us, they are perfect mirrors of our soul. Every trait, every behavior, every challenge your dog presents is reflecting a very specific part of your own spiritual journey. Our dogs are direct reflections of our own inner state, he once said in a silent hall. They show on the outside what we need to see about our inside, but cannot see for ourselves. This means your companion is like a living map to your own soul. Its gifts, its struggles, its fears, its need for healing, all of it is being mirrored in the personality and being of the one who walks beside you. Let us start with a reflection that may make you see things anew. The dog who is aggressive is rarely a companion to an aggressive person. More often, it is a companion to one who pushes down their own fire, their own anger. The dog is simply giving voice to the energy that the human cannot or will not express. When you see a dog that is protective or territorial, pause and look within. Where in your life do you feel your space is not respected? Where do you need to draw a clearer line? Where are you failing to protect your own emotional ground? The wisdom teaches that our guides come to us already possessing the perfect spiritual personality to illuminate our own blind spots. Let us explore the most common mirrors they hold up for us. The anxious dog. If your companion is filled with anxiety, it is likely that you too carry a stream of anxiety, even if you keep it hidden. Anxious dogs appear to souls who need to learn to release, to trust the flow of life, and to let go of the illusion of control. They compel us to cultivate our own stillness. The fearful dog, a dog that is afraid of the world, is a mirror for our own hidden fears. It shows us how fear can be a cage, preventing us from living with an open heart. As we help our companion find its courage, we are, in truth, learning to find our own. The stubborn dog. If your guide has a stubborn spirit, it is reflecting your own resistance to what is. Stubborn companions appear to people who need to learn flexibility, the art of bending with the wind instead of standing rigid against it. The needy dog. A companion who constantly demands attention is mirroring our own unmet emotional needs. It shows us where our desire for validation or affection may be out of balance. By teaching them to feel secure, we learn to offer that same security to ourselves. The independent dog, the very aloof companion, often chooses a person who struggles with deep connection and intimacy. They are teachers of the balance between solitude and union, between selfhood and partnership. But the most stunning mirror is how a companion's physical challenges often reflect the owner's emotional state. The teachings on this are profound. Digestive issues. Dogs who struggle with digestion are often companions to people who cannot stomach a situation in their life. They are absorbing and physically processing an energy that their human cannot process emotionally. Skin problems. Skin is our boundary with the world. A dog with skin ailments may be reflecting their human's own struggles with self-worth and vulnerability, with how they meet the world. Respiratory challenges. A dog with breathing difficulties may be reflecting a human who feels they cannot breathe freely in their own life. A sense of being suffocated, oppressed, or without freedom. Heart conditions. Perhaps most poignantly, dogs who develop heart ailments are often the companions of people with a wounded or closed-off heart. They are, quite literally, absorbing the heart pain of the one they love. Our dogs take on our own inner struggles as a form of spiritual service, the elders taught. They would rather feel the imbalance in their own body than see their companion suffer in their spirit. This revelation bestows upon us a profound responsibility. When our companion becomes unwell, we must first look within and ask, what part of my own emotional or spiritual life is calling for healing? Often, as we begin to heal ourselves, our companions mysteriously recover. But the mirror also reflects our light. A joyful, balanced dog is a reflection of a human who is living in inner harmony. A loving and social dog mirrors a person who is open to giving and receiving love. Your companion's personality also points to your own sleeping gifts. If your dog is deeply intuitive, you likely have psychic gifts that you are not using. If it is fiercely protective, you may have a dormant gift as a healer or a guardian for others. The ancient wisdom taught that we can speed up our own growth by consciously observing the mirror our dogs provide. Instead of judging their behavior, we can ask the sacred question, what is this trying to teach me about myself? When we begin to see our dogs as mirrors of the soul, our entire relationship transforms. Their actions cease to be problems to be fixed. They become lessons to be embraced. Have you ever had the feeling that your dog could read your mind? The communication between our two species does not rely on words, the teachings say. It flows on waves of thought, in pictures sent from the mind, in direct transmissions of energy from one heart to another. Dogs are natural masters of this silent language because they never forgot it. While humanity developed spoken language and let our telepathic senses wither, dogs kept this pure form of communication alive. They not only receive our thoughts, they are constantly sending us information. The only barrier is that most of us have not learned how to listen. Let us begin with examples you have surely felt. The thought of food, and the dog appears. You were sitting quietly, you made no sound, but the intention formed in your mind. A moment later, your companion is waiting by their bowl. They did not hear a sound, they received the thought. A shared sadness. You felt a wave of grief but showed no outward sign. And yet, your companion came to your side, laid its head on your lap, offering comfort. It felt the shift in your energy before it ever reached your face. The anticipation of arrival. Your dog becomes restless and goes to the door moments before you arrive home, even if your schedule changes daily. It is not hearing your car, it is feeling your intention to return, a ripple you send out long before you are physically present. A wise one explained that this communication occurs within what he called the shared field of consciousness. When you form a deep bond with your companion, you literally create a shared mental space where thoughts, feelings, and intentions flow freely between you. This is not magic, it is spiritual physics. The teachings reveal that consciousness operates at different frequencies. When two beings attune to the same frequency, silent communication becomes as natural as breathing. You can cultivate this connection consciously. Here are the practices my tradition teaches. The first, practice communication through mental pictures. Sit quietly with your companion nearby. Close your eyes. Clearly visualize an image of what you wish to communicate. If you want them to come to you, see them walking to your side. If you want them to be calm, see them resting peacefully. Hold this picture in your mind without force, like sending a gentle wave across a calm lake. The second practice, the transmission of feeling. Dogs are incredibly sensitive to our emotional state. You can communicate through feeling. If you desire them to be calm, first cultivate a deep sense of peace within your own heart. If you want them to be alert, generate a feeling of focused attention within yourself. The key is to truly feel it, not just think about it. Dogs read the heart, not the mind. The third practice, communication through the gaze. Look softly into your dog's eyes. This is not a stare of dominance, but a gaze of love and open intention. As you hold their gaze, mentally project your message with gentle clarity. The elders discovered that this shared gaze creates an immediate bridge between two consciousnesses. This is why a single look can speak volumes. The fourth practice, ask and then observe. You can pose questions mentally to your dog and then quietly observe how they respond. Through their body, their energy, a shift in their expression. Mentally ask, "Are you well?" and watch their reaction. Ask, "Shall we walk the path by the river?" and see how their spirit replies. The answers may be subtle. A movement of the ears, a shift in posture, or even an image that arises in your own mind. Trust the first impression. This is the beginning of a true dialogue. But this silent language goes deeper than simple requests. The teachings reveal that our dogs often try to share vital information about our own well-being, our health, our path, our spiritual state. The warnings about health. Dogs can often sense illness before any symptoms manifest. If your companion persistently licks or sniffs one specific area of your body, pay attention. It may be an alarm bell you need to hear. Feelings about people. When your dog shows a clear aversion to a particular person, it is reading their energy field in a way you cannot. It feels a dissonance. Trust its intuition. It is a form of protection. Sensing events. Dogs can feel the energetic shifts that precede great changes in our lives. If your dog acts strangely, restlessly, for no apparent reason, it may be feeling that a significant event is on the horizon. The most profound revelation a wise elder ever shared about our companions is their role as spiritual healers. Our dogs are instruments of divine healing, he said. They can absorb our traumas, dissolve energetic knots, and restore emotional harmony to the souls they serve. This is one of their most sacred missions. If you have ever walked through a dark valley in your life and felt the quiet presence of your dog as an inexplicable comfort, you have felt this healing. It was not mere companionship. It was a literal transmission of healing energy flowing through the river of love that connects you. Dogs possess a natural ability most of us have lost. They can absorb dense, heavy energy without it clinging to them permanently. They act as conscious spiritual filters, drawing in emotional pain and transforming it back into light. Let us understand how this healing happens. The absorption of emotional trauma. When you are moving through deep pain, grief, loss, fear, your companion feels the discordance in your energy field. It will draw near and through physical touch or simple proximity, begin to absorb the dense energy of the trauma. Have you noticed how your dog stays closer when you are sad? How it seeks to be near you? It is not just offering comfort. It is pulling the energetic poison from your spirit. The transmutation of energy. After absorbing this dense energy, dogs process it through their own luminous fields. The teachings explain they have a natural alchemy. It is as if they are masters of fire, taking the lead of our sorrow and turning it into the gold of peace. The return of healed energy. After transmuting the energy, they return it to us, purified. This happens through their affection, their calm presence, even through a loving gaze. This is why you feel lighter, clearer, After spending quiet time with your dog, you have received a transfusion of healed energy. This is not just a beautiful idea, it is a tangible energetic process. So many people report that after walking through fire, they began to heal, and that the constant, quiet presence of their dog was the anchor in the storm. The teachings identify different streams of this healing. Healing for anxiety. Dogs are masters at healing anxiety because their entire being radiates presence. They live in the now. They do not worry about tomorrow. Their steady energy naturally soothes our own nervous system and brings us back to the present moment. Healing for depression. The life force of a dog is a natural antidote to the heavy cloak of depression. They radiate simple joy, a love of life, and an affection that asks nothing in return. This light gradually dissolves the emotional density of sorrow. Healing for trauma. Dogs offer a container of perfect emotional safety, which is the ground where trauma can finally heal. They do not judge. They do not criticize. They do not leave. This unconditional presence allows old wounds to finally surface and be released into light. Healing for loneliness. The deep connection we feel with our companions heals the ancient wound of separation. They teach us that we are worthy of a love that never leaves, and that in truth, we are never alone. This healing is amplified during sleep. A wise one revealed that when we sleep near our dogs, a profound energetic synchronization occurs. Our fields of light align, and healing takes place at the deepest levels of our being. During sleep, the walls of the conscious mind come down, he explained. That is when the most sacred work can be done. A dog sleeping near its human is actively mending the wounds of the soul. This explains the instinct many people feel to sleep with their companions. It is not a habit of comfort. It is a soul-level need for energetic healing. But the healing our dogs offer extends beyond the emotional. They can stimulate physical healing as well. The healing vibration. Though we often think of cats, dogs also produce a healing vibration through their calm breathing and heartbeat. These subtle frequencies can stimulate cellular repair in the people they love. The healing warmth. The body heat of a dog is not just physical, it is energetic. When a dog lays its body on a painful part of yours, it is offering a healing warmth that can quicken recovery. The healing pressure. Dogs often know, by instinct, where to apply pressure to stimulate our own body's energy pathways. When they lean on us or lay a paw on us, they are often activating points of healing. The elders also observed that different types of canine spirits carry different healing gifts. Large, calm dogs are often masters at healing deep trauma and restoring a sense of safety. Smaller dogs can be brilliant at healing anxiety and lifting spirits. Quiet, serene dogs are ideal for healing the effects of stress. Energetic, playful dogs are perfect for healing depression and a lack of will. The most humbling part is that dogs offer this healing consciously. They know what they are doing. They choose to take our pain into themselves to help us become free. Our responsibility is to help them release it. Long walks in nature, joyful play, clean water and food, and our own outpouring of love helps them cleanse their own fields. It is our way of repaying the immeasurable service they provide. When we finally understand that our companions are spiritual healers, our gratitude for their presence becomes infinite. They are not our pets. They are four-legged angels, sent here to guide our healing and our journey home. And this healing is only the beginning of the transformation they bring into our lives.